This video will show you how to uninstall the stock suspension on all 2015 through 2023 Mustangs.
All right guys, moving to the front, we are going to be removing our calipers. This is the upgraded performance package with the Brembos, so your brakes may look a little different, but I have a 15mm socket, and we're going to be taking off the whole caliper bracket, and we're going to be hanging it out of the way with a bungee cord. Now I have my one bolt still in there. I'm going to remove that now. And don't let this caliper fall. And we're just going to pull it off of the brake rotor. Like that. We're going to take our bungee cord and bungee this out of the way, or right on the K-member right here. All right, now I'm going to take a push pin removal tool and separate our wheel speed sensor from our strut. Now it is connected to two places. One is on the strut here, and then one is on the bottom of the strut behind the brake rotor right here. So I'm just gonna pull those out, set that off to the side. Our next step is to get our sway bar end link off. It is an 18mm nut on the front, and you can get a 17mm wrench on the back to hold it from spinning. All right, again, I have a 17mm wrench on the back side, keeping it from spinning. All right, now save this nut, we're gonna be reusing that. And we can take our sway bar end link and take that out of the way. All right, so I'm gonna remove this rotor just so you can get a better view of what we're doing next. All right, so I'm gonna take my big 24mm impact and take these nuts off. Now you don't have to worry about the head of this. I'll show you what it looks like when you take it off. Next thing we're gonna do is get either a ball peen hammer or a mallet, and we're actually gonna hit the top of this. We're gonna hit the top of these bolts. The reason why I'm putting my nuts back on is to protect my threads, and so we have a flat surface to hit. All right, so I have my hammer. I'm just gonna tap on both of them until they come out. I'm actually gonna leave one of these in here because our last step is to remove our nuts, and I don't want this falling just completely out. So when I take this out, you can see these splines, or these knurls, they actually get captured in there and prevent the bolt from spinning. That's why you only need one nut or one socket to get this, to complete this step. All right, I'm gonna remove this nut, but leave this bolt in here. So that's gonna be one of the last ones we have to pull. It's just sitting right in there. Now we can lower the vehicle down and get our nuts off the top of the strut. All right, so we're gonna pop our hood. Get it supported. And then what we're after now are these nuts on top of our strut. All right, now with a 15mm socket, we're going to remove these nuts. Now I'm gonna leave this one with about 1 or 2 threads remaining. Take it off and then thread it on just like that. You can start to see the strut actually falling. Watch this gap. All right, we're gonna completely remove that nut. All right, this is where it kind of gets tricky. We're gonna lift up on the spindle here, pull out our bolt, and let this just fall a little bit. Make sure it doesn't hit the ground, but we have that separate now. Now I'm gonna grab the bottom of the strut and the top. I'm gonna take this nut off and carefully remove our factory strut. All right, to get started, we need to remove our wheels and tires. You can perform this job on the ground, just use a good jack and a good set of jack stands. All right, what we're gonna do first is remove our shock. Now these are 18mm bolts. You can use a regular socket. I just like my air impact. Then we're gonna bring the car up even more, support our lower subframe, and get the bottom bolts out of here, because the next step is to lower our subframe. All right, next step is to remove these two 15mm bolts holding the lower shock mount in. Now I'm gonna use my other hand to support the top of this shock, just so it doesn't fall. Now with that out, we can pull our shock. All right, our next step is to lower our rear subframe. Now we have to get these two 13mm bolts out of the way to access this 21 in the front, and then there's another one in the back. We're gonna do this side by side so we can have the other two rear subframe bolts in and lower this side to get our spring out. You don't have to take these out all the way. All right, so with our two 13mm bolts out of the way, again, our rear subframe is supported with a jack stand. I had to switch to my 1/2-inch impact gun to get this rear subframe bolt out. It is a 21mm. So we are gonna remove this completely. And we're just gonna let this bracket hang right there. All right, guys, now we're after the rear subframe bolt. It's right behind the spring. Key note here is when you undo this, you're gonna have some separation between the subframe and the body right here. As long as your jack stand has a lot of that support, you're not gonna see too much movement, but we're gonna be lowering this down slowly to gain some access to this spring here. We're gonna remove this bolt completely too. So now that we have our rear subframe bolts out, we're gonna be lowering it next. We don't wanna put too much strain on these brake lines. We're gonna take a 13mm socket, take out this brake bracket here, and that'll give us a little extra clearance and travel. All right, now I'm carefully lowering my subframe on the driver's side, just enough that I can get that spring out and put my new one in. All right, with our subframe bolts out of the way, we can remove this spring. Just gotta pull down on your brake a little bit. Save this isolator. Get your spring out of the way.
Thanks for watching, and remember, for all things Mustang, keep it here at AmericanMuscle.com.